speaker in our second round is Bill Wight. Bill, are you on the line? Hi, Bill. Are you on the line with us?
Yes, Ray, I'm on the line.
Hi, Bill. We're hearing you and looking forward to your presentation. Would you like to go ahead?
My internet connection is not very good. I've been listening over the telephone. Can you hear me all right on over the internet?
You're coming through fine now, Bill. Thanks so much for joining us and giving us some insight on local work groups in Texas. Go ahead.
Okay. I got to put my phone where I can't hear it. There's a time. My name is Bill Wight. I'm a rancher from Odessa, Texas, West Texas, in the heart of the Permian Basin, where we're having a soil boom. We have a rain. The tune shows the guy looking at the top of his house sticking out of the water, and he says, you know, 13 inches of rain a year is not very much except on the day you get it. And that's kind of the way we are. If we could get 13 inches of rain at the right time of the year, we'd have a pretty good climate. But what happens is some years we get 25 or 30 inches, and then we have several years, like the last 3, that we get 4 to 6 inches, and it just makes it kind of tough. There's one that's about 100 acres of irrigated alfalfa. The rest of the county is all ranch land. We do our stock, but for the sake of everyone else, we run about a cow to every 50 to 80 acres in a good year, and years like this, we run a cow to about every 100 to 150 acres. I've served on the local Soil and Water Conservation District Board for the last 25 years, and the best meeting that we ever had was the first local work group meeting that we hosted, and I believe that was in 2003. We had a wildlife biologist and a master gardener and a county commissioner and some local ranchers and our board. We made a list of the resource concerns of the county, everything from declining homes requiring too much water to careless oil field related pollution to invasive brush species and soil erosion caused by poor grazing distribution and continuous grazing. Then we prioritize these concerns based, first of all, on the ones that EQIP could address, but are EQIP funded could address the cases that we were going to receive. What made that meeting so good was that we, the people in the county who knew the most about the problems in our county, were deciding how best to spend the limited EQIP funding that our county was going to receive. We decided what were the main concerns, our most pressing concerns in our county. We decided, or we had an influence on which practices would give the most bang for the buck in our county, and on which practices would give the most bang for the buck in our county, and in order to best utilize these federal dollars in our county. In my opinion, that should be one of the main benefits of having a Soil and Water Conservation District Board in the first place, to tailor a national program to best meet the needs in a particular location by letting the local producers have input in how these funds are spent. In the 2008 Farm Bill, the rules got changed. Local priorities were no longer as significant as national and state priorities. In other words, whether we said brush management or soil erosion was more important didn't really matter. The points given to these contracts were based on national and state priorities, first of all, and then our local priorities were like the third tier, the third level of importance. And so if we had a contract with more or less points, that wouldn't matter at the local level, because as far as the county allocation goes, that were based on local points based on local priorities became significant was if that contract got to the team or the zone or the state level and was up here. If we didn't give that, money would go to the contract in the other county. Another change that was made in the 2008 Farm Bill was that resource concerns our resource concerns were always of invasive brush. Well, now we had to pick from things like water quantity, soil health concerns. Had equipped, if you picked soil erosion, you had a list of practices that soil erosion. If you had water quality, you had this list of practices. And so the job of the local work group became the predefined resource concern that had the most county applicable practices associated with it. And the reason we had to do that was because, once again, if our contracts got to the team or the zone or the state level, if we didn't give them the maximum number of local points, then they would just not get funded, and somebody that they were tied and state points would outrank them on local points. And since 2008, the local work to do, when we were able to do what we can do best, which is tailor the national program to best meet the particular needs of our county. I've been told that the new contract funding process skips the county level and begins at the team level. So now, even though funds are supposedly allocated on a per county basis, our county may not get any contracts funded if the contracts in the other three counties in our team outrank us. And so I guess my recommendation would be to return to the rules that we had under the 2003 Farm Bill was that gave the opportunity of an opportunity federal dollars were spent.
Bill, we may have lost the audio with you. Are you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Thank you. Thank you. So if I heard that last point, return to the rules under the 2003 Farm Bill for federal dollars to be directed at local priorities. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. Where the local priorities have some meaning as far as which contracts get funded in our county, because the way it is now, the national and state priorities are the points that are based, that are allocated to those contracts based on the national and state priorities outrank anything we can do in the county, and it makes our job insignificant.
Okay. And I think the point that we're having a bit of audio difficulty with the feed, but you also mentioned multi-county local work groups, and I think you had a point there I don't want to have the folks miss.
Okay, I haven't experienced this yet, but what I've been told by our district conservation is that under the new rules, the first allocation is going to aid at the team level, which is 4 counties. Instead of contracts from our county going up against other contracts, and now these other county and state priorities, there may not be anything funded in our county.
I see. Okay. Okay, good. Bill, I want to make sure we don't lose anything that you wanted to say. Anything else that you wanted to give in your presentation today? Experience from Texas, local work groups?
Well, first of all, I apologize for the poor quality of my connection. I thought I was going to be able to talk over the phone, but I wasn't able to do that, and so I'm having to talk over this internet connection, and I hope you were able to hear what all I said.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, and with the challenges aside, you had some good insight for us, and I'm going to move to the questions then, unless you have something else you wanted to visit with the group about.
No, sir.
All right. Thanks, Bill.